Welcome to Thank God You're Not My Child. Remember, it's a comedy podcast where I talk about whatever I want to. Yeah, go ahead, tell me. Spoiled ass brat that sounds like. And I don't think I was a spoiled ass brat. I don't know. Mommy, daddy, was I? That's a no. Because I don't think they listen anyway. Okay, so today I'm going on vacation. You're getting on the cruise ship Saturday. It's my honeymoon cruise. Yes, families are going. It's going to be a nice time. But I wanted to just tell you some stories of my years over daycare. There's been some just amazing stories over the years I've been with kids. So let's start. And the first thing I want to talk about is, do you remember that show, Teletubbies? Yes, you remember. Well, when I first started in my daycare in Forsyth, Missouri, now I had been in daycare for quite a few years, but when we moved there, I decided I was going to get licensed. So my first group of kids, I had this cute little strawberry blonde girl, and she might as well just she okay, let's be honest. I'm going to be honest. That girl should have just had her mouth on her mom's teeth because she loved her mama so much she needed to be around her. And when her mama needed to go to work, because that's why you put your kid in daycare, if you understand what I mean, she would have a fucking meltdown. And I'm just starting and I only have a few kids. She was only there like 2 or 3 days a week. And we needed to get her used to it because of the separation from her mom's tit, if you remember what that was. But anyway, that happens to a lot of kids. Nothing mom did. Okay, I'm not talking about mom. Kids have the problem. The problem with this cute little strawberry blonde hair was she could sit, not cry, and watch the fucking Teletubbies. You remember that? No. You remember they were never really talking. And it was like they didn't even have shows on then. That was so long ago that I remember I bought a VHS of fucking Teletubbies so I could keep her happy for just long enough till she started playing. But I had to watch that fucking DVD, or that wasn't even the DVD, that fucking VHS of Teletubbies for like 3 fucking months. And I'm telling you one thing. If her mom wasn't one of my best friends and become one of my best friends, I think I might have shoved that VHS up the nose of her mom. But Lord have mercy, those things that your kids comfort, you just never know what comforts your kid. And you know what? This little cute strawberry blonde hair, she liked the fucking Teletubbies. And that was a good time that I stopped and learned to not judge the parent because of what the odd thing the kid liked to watch. See? I can learn lessons. So yeah, so now we're gonna switch to this cute little blonde boy. He was my hide and seeker. If you heard about my little 1-year-old that hid from me and I had a mini heart attack one in the first season, first 30 episodes. But he loved cute little blonde hair, little straight blonde hairs going everywhere, little mohawk or whatever sometimes. He liked bugs. And I remember one day we're playing out on the playground and there's a few flowers. I had more of an all natural playground, so I did mow and stuff, but I wanted the sticks to be there, the leaves to be there, so the kids could play with the things. But the one thing even a 2-year-old should be able to understand, and I think he did, was Eric. Oh, I said his name. That was my Eric, a little blonde-haired boy. Okay. Eric, don't touch that bumblebee. Eric, now he's over 2. Don't touch that bumblebee. Now, okay, did I tell you he was like 2, 2.5? Well, I'm just going to be here to tell you, he caught the fucking bumblebee and it stung him on his thumb. And that's something that I would just normally tell the parent later because I got this. But you know what? That little cute boy's thumb swelled up to as big as a fucking racquetball. It was crazy. I had to call his mom. I told him not to grab it. I told him not to grab it. You know, kids do stupid things. And he grabbed it. And then he had to walk around with the swollen thumb. Now, the good thing is, I don't think he ended up being allergic to bees. I think it was just a hell of a sting and a hell of a bee. You know? But that little blonde boy, Eric, he had other stories because I had him for so long. And when my son was a sophomore in high school, I've mentioned that before, I took him out of school to homeschool him. But one of the things about watching the DVDs, you know, if you're watching a lesson on a TV, you might get a little tired. And if you get a little tired, you might fall asleep. And this was not good for homeschooling. Do we get that? So I told Eric, amongst the other kids, because I was licensed for 10 kids, anybody that catches Justin asleep gets 2 Smarties. Now, I'm not talking 2 packs of Smarties. I would spend my time to separate Smarties because I cleaned them. I called them cleaning bubbles. I would give them 2 cleaning bubbles if they were cleaning throughout picking up toys, and they might end up with 4 to 6 for cleaning up. So if they did something they could get 2 cleaning bubbles because you made a good choice. So I decided that catching Justin to sleep was worth 2 cleaning bubbles. And Eric, little cute little blonde boy, now he's like 26 or so now, so he's still cute, but he's not a cute little blonde boy. Let's just put it away. He thought it was his mission to catch Justin to sleep every fucking time. And that boy, I probably gave him 82,000 Smarties over the 2 years Justin was homeschooling. He used to, Justin sleeping, Justin sleep, because he knew he would get too clean. I mean, come on. If you know they're there, and all you got to do is catch someone sleeping, and he's a teenager. I mean, come on. But to make that even funnier, at the point Justin was homeschooling, we also had a bird named Maynard. And Maynard learned Eric's name. And he knew Eric liked to give him peanuts. So anytime Justin was asleep and Eric was in the room to catch Justin asleep to get his 2 Smarties, Maynard would say, because he was an African gray, Eric, want peanut now. Want peanut now. So therefore, every time Eric caught Justin sleeping, he got 2 Smarties, the Maynards got a peanut, and Justin was woke up and having to fucking learn now. So see, win, win, win. Not only was Eric smart, and the bird, I fucking rocked it too. So see? So now I want to switch to 2 of my pickiest eaters. And I'm going to say their names because they've ended up to be family, which is kind of a funny story too. So Avery and Macon came in. They were 2 and 3, just turned 2, just turned 3. And they were the little sisters of my son-in-law now. So when my daughter and him were dating in high school, I had his little sisters in the daycare. Well, when they showed up to daycare, I have never in my life seen 2 kids that were more fucking picky eating than anybody in my life. And it was just hard. It was hard for me because I didn't roll like that. But you know what I learned? I learned how to change. Now, I still talked with them. Like when we made our own pizza, I always had the olives out there, the onions out there, mushrooms. If you want to try it, try it. Even if you want to put one on and try it on your pizza, that's fine. But I learned a lot where they came in and I'm like, damn, what the fuck do these girls eat? To I know what they eat, and we're going to branch it out a little. And they did. Over the years that I had them, they branched it out. They learn, and because when kids don't eat a lot and they just don't like it, you want your kids to eat. So you're going to get them what they want. And I get this. But over the years, they have branched out. And some of us, they might eat things I don't like now. But I could have either went, oh, fuck no, that's not how we're doing this. Or I can learn on my own. And what I learned with them helped me throughout the other years when I had worse eaters come through. I learned about special needs, and not everybody likes the texture. I learned so much, and it all started with my pickiest eaters, which happen to be family now. They're grown now. They're in high school. I don't want to, oh my God, I'm just going to say that. They're in high school, and I'm getting too fucking old. But one of the things that they also did was they caused some fights at daycare. Because once he proposed to my daughter and they knew they were getting married, they kept bragging, Donna's gonna be family. And it upset all the other ones that I had to become Aunt Donna to all of them. It was hilarious. Now, they might not admit to knowing me as much now, but maybe they're getting close to the age that they'll admit that they know me. So, yeah. So I learned more than probably they did. Remember, even old dogs can learn new tricks, people. Yeah. So then I want to go to, let's go to my Chelsea May. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Did I mess up with Chelsea May? When I started keeping Chelsea May, I had been really big and I had a breast lift. And so I was stuck in my room, and my best friend Dawn from the Teletubby, she was working the daycare for 6 weeks. And so I'm just going to stay in my room. She got this covered. Well, the baby started. Chelsea May started. And she was so little, and she was in my weight limit that I could pick up. So why the fuck should I not lay in my bed and take care of a newborn? Hello? I am the fucking baby whisperer. So you know what I did? You know what, Dawn? I know you can take care of all of them, but I want to take care of her. So I rested and I did everything around when I had Chelsea, because why not? I'm stuck in bed and can't do shit. So I might as well feed the baby, play with the baby, hug the baby, love the baby. Well, do you know what happens when you do that with the baby? Way too much bonding for someone that's not the mama. And I learned the hard way. And I got to love that baby like she was mine. Now, I love all of the babies like they're mine. But this one, I got so close to her mama too, because if I can love this baby this much, how much is her mama and her daddy? It's just, well, and that girl, I don't know if it's because, I don't know what it was, but this girl before she was one could literally, never seen it, write her name, could write Chelsea, and she knew the fucking letters. And I didn't understand the stuff that was happening with her, because, I've seen kids and some kids go, oh, because that's her thing. All I can think of now looking back is that was her thing, is when the others were learning, she just really paid attention and she sucked it in. So I couldn't explain some of the things that she did, and she was talking in sentences way before she should have. But she's just a smart button, and people are all different, so it was okay. But one thing, we bonded so much that in the summers, Dawn would work 1 day a week so I could have time with my kids, like whitewater or going to the creek or something, or movies. And anytime Dawn came, Chelsea would freak the fuck out. Now, Dawn probably treats her better than I did. Just saying. But it wasn't me. And we bonded way too fucking much. And we still laugh, and we can still remember how much she would fucking scream just to see Dawn come in the door, even if she wasn't staying. And it wasn't because who was coming, it was because I was leaving. She didn't even cry when her mom left. And that's when I realized, if she's crying because I'm leaving like that, but not her mom, I fucked up. So, talking to her mom, and I become close with her mom, and her mom's like a sister now. In fact, I'm going to plug it. Pause for a second. Go look up positive animal encounters. Positive animal encounters. Lufkin, Texas. That's Chelsea May's mom. And she's like a sister to me. And Chelsea May's still there too, Lufkin. And you know what? I can say that I messed up, but I don't think I did. You know, when they moved to Lufkin, first of all, she wasn't quite 3. And she was so fucking smart, but she would not potty train. But you know, when they moved to Lufkin, she was going to have to go to the baby's class if she didn't get potty trained. And you know what that little girl did? Boom, potty trained. Yeah, I knew she had it in her. Yeah. So yeah, so that's a story of maybe I bonded too much. Then I want to go to, taking them. One summer, I decided, a few years, I was going to take the daycare kids that the parents wanted them to Vacation Bible School, because the church I went to did an amazing, like, huge over-the-top one. It was so fun. So just the ones, there was like 5, but all I had was the Jeep to take. So they said I could bring 2 over, I could bring them separately. And so I could bring 3 one time, 2 the other time, and it was fine. We wasn't that far from the church. I remember putting my little curly hair blonde boy in the car seat in the Jeep, and I was not planned to have the top off the Jeep or the doors and all, but I did. And I remember putting him, that's curly blonde little locks of hair, into his car seat in the back of the Jeep. And I'm thinking, well, we're just going a couple of miles to the church. He's buckled in. We're safe. I'm not going to be doing off-roading, nothing like that. So we're bebopping through town. And we're coming up on the business his mom owns. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, Evan, you should wave at your mom. Now, the odds of her being out or anything was so low and her seeing it. But he knows mom works there. So it was more for his benefit. But we start going by and realize that she's out at the trunk at a customer's. And we're driving along slow. And Evan says, hi, Mom, plain as daylight as we pass. And she goes, hi, Evan. And the look on her face. Now, I'm just going to tell you, the boy was safe, 100% safe. So I will delete the messages. Sorry if you bitch about that and you send DMs or something. We're going to delete the shit because he was completely safe, completely buckled up in his own car seat, own hooked up. Okay? So don't come for me on that. But in the same time, one of the other trips, I remember going top off the Jeep, and I had my little Amber. Now, Amber wasn't so little. Amber is one tall woman. I had a couple of girls, and they were over 6 feet tall. They are just tall, beautiful women. And we're driving along, and she said, why are the doors off the Jeep? And I'm like, well, I think Michael, my ex-husband, I think he likes driving with his foot hanging out. Now, he's very tall, too. So I kind of put my foot out the Jeep a little bit to show her how he does. And it was kind of cute and all, And she goes, oh, okay, it made sense. But we're bebopping along, and then all I realize that she's trying to stretch out just enough that she can put her little foot out the Jeep just like Michael. So, but I'm not saying anything because it's kind of cute, But she finally gets her little foot out just past the hill, and she looks at me and she goes, look, just like Michael. Yeah, just some cute little things that happen, Kind of like I have this one little boy, and he's one of those boys that just boom, 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 keep you going. Good kid now. I think he's 19, and he's a good kid. But I had a new deck built, and the top of the rail of the deck was probably 10 to 12 foot up. Now, this was a deck on the playground that I had approved to be built for a fort to be under the deck because it was that high a door. And it was approved and all. So remember. So yeah, and he looks at me, and I said, you need to get down because he's up on the side, maybe 10 to 12 feet up in the air over the playground. And he looks at me, and he's maybe 7, 8. So, he's listening. And he goes, do I have to get down? And I'm like, well, that jump wouldn't be you could break your leg or something. So yeah, I think you need to get down. But do I have to? And I said, well, Taylor, what do you want to do? And about that time, I said his name. You know, Taylor. You know. I suck at this not saying names. Yeah. Okay. So about that time, he jumps off this fucking deck. Now, this kid's not mine. This kid's not mine. That is where the name came from. I run around the edge of the deck to expect a broken leg or worse. And that's where it came from, because the first thing I wanted to tell this boy was, thank God you're not my child. You see? You see where it comes from? Yeah. You see? Well, just to let you know, Taylor didn't break a leg or anything, and I don't know how. Good Lord was watching over that bub. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, I didn't really I never caught him back up there, so maybe it scared him enough. So yeah. So now I do have so many stories. I'm gonna have to do another one. But one thing I want to leave you with is, you know, I had this little boy start, and he looked like a little Zoolander baby. And, he's started daycare and fell in love with his family. And he's going into high school, and he's turned into my number one fan. And his sister, growing up way too fast, I'm one of her number one fans. And, never underestimate where your kids stay. Because the first time their mom pulled up to the daycare, now I lived in a double wide that I turned into a daycare and we lived in. And her first thought was, my kids aren't going to a trailer. And you know what? I get that. But you know what? Her daughter, thank you, Shy Shy, said, Mom, you never know what the inside's about. And you know what? I haven't looked back. And that's family. My number one fan out there, D-Man. First of all, I don't think you should be going into high school next year. And I revoked that. And Izzy Busy, I love you guys so much. I'm so glad that you guys and Oliver and Cheyenne, everybody, all of them, you're family now, girls, boys. And you know what? I think I've probably told you everything I know. I have so many more stories in a few episodes. I'll do another one. But you know what? Just remember, never underestimate what you can have on somebody, because sometimes you may think they're learning, but you know what? You're the one learning too. Until next time, thank God you're not my child.